Hello. Hi, guys. So, I'm totally excited. I'm in the car. I'm going to show you. So, I'm totally excited. I'm totally nervous. And what I am on here today to talk to you guys about is my journey to my decision to start this medication here. I think they pronounce it Zenatane. Yeah, and don't ask me to pronounce that generic. I think it's isotretinoin. So it is a medication that is very commonly, it's not called that anymore, obviously, but it's, a lot of people know it for Accutane. And so I just picked up my 30-day package. I just picked it up. Here you go. I have all these pages of what do you call it, not instructions, but information. The pharmacy gives you tons of education. Well, this is not like one page. This is 5 pages of education, and I do intend to read it because this was a very interesting decision. Well, not really interesting, but it took time for me to make this decision, and I can tell you that it's been a long journey for me in deciding to take this route. I've always been the one to say no to the pill form of anything. I've had acne. I can tell you my acne started around 13, 14 years old, somewhere around there. And I've had every kind of acne around, from little tiny whiteheads to blackheads to boils and cysts, and it being mainly on my forehead to then my nose and cheeks. And now it's coming to the jawline. So this is a good time. I know I'm in the car, so this is not good lighting, but this is a good time for me to show this because I'm having the breakouts now, because it's like around that time of the month, and that's usually when I tend to break out now. Before, it was pretty much any time, but as I got older, the acne changed. And of course, when I was younger, the doctors treated with topical creams, and then every year it progressed. I would get a little better, I would get clear, and then it would come back. And it, like I said, it was just a vicious cycle from a teenager. And I've possibly tried, I can't say everything, but I've tried a lot, from the cheapest over the counter, soaps, to mid price over the counters, to doctor prescribed, prescription strength topical creams. I've tried the antibiotic therapy during certain times, even though I was like totally against it, because I do know that, we overtreat with antibiotics, and then when you really need it, it doesn't work. And that's just Western culture all the way around. We just overuse antibiotics. So I was totally against it. And I'm like, oh my God, but it's so much on there, and I really hate the way this looks. So I obliged. The doctor's like, hey, take the pill. And so I started getting just really frustrated with it. I just started just saying, hey, I have, that's what it is. I have acne. And then, I started doing all of the treatments where it comes to either microdermabrasions, chemical peels. And I don't know who out there has this issue and has gone through this, but taking those topicals and doing all these treatments and having to do it weekly to get the best results and then maintain it. Once you get it all cleared up, you got to maintain it. It's not cheap. Your girl will have to pay. You gotta pay to find that good person that does a nice micro. You can't go to the cheapest $20, of course, I would get some Groupons or here and there for specials. But when you find that one person that does a really good job, they're using really good, strength or products, you want to stick with them. But then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm spending up to, $300-400 a month just on my facial regimen. And so when things may be a little bit more tight, I would not buy everything. I know I'd have the wash, the toner, the moisturizer, then the cream from the doctor. And so, I'd visit the doctor, and then after a while I'd be like, oh, it looks good, you're all clear. And then like 8 months later, I'm back in a doctor's office, a dermatologist's office. So of course, this particular medication has been brought to my attention before. Oh, and I've done the birth control and beautifully cleared up my face before. And I made a decision to stop the birth control. Did not really ask anyone or, any doctor. And when I stopped it, I broke into these huge boils on my face. It was just horrible. It was just horrible and painful, and just the look, everything was just not good about it. So, like I said, this medication has been brought to my attention before because it was basically known, or it's known to be a cure for, for some very resistant type of acne. But at the time, I was not really receptive, being that one of the major no-nos in this is you absolutely cannot get pregnant. And so I don't even think at the time I was trying to get pregnant, but I do know that I had been through the experience of being on birth control and then coming off of it and having this huge breakout. And so I was really not really wanting to try a medication. And then, strange enough, it came back to me now, but apparently my husband had told me about it too, seeing some people on Instagram and hearing their stories and seeing their pictures, and him knowing how it's traumatic. I can use that word. It is like a traumatizing experience. To every day you're waking up and you're seeing you're seeing it, and yes, other people are seeing it. And not that I don't know if out there that you really care about what others think, but it's just self-conscious because I know it's there. And not only do I know it's there, I can feel it. It's very painful, especially now that my major breakouts are around the jawline, which is notoriously known to be a hormonal thing, and then coming down to the chin area. And of course, there's facial hair. So I don't know if you have a lot of facial hair, but that was one for me. Another experience I had was I thread my eyebrows. I don't wax or anything. I thread them, and my threading lady, who has also, I have this thing with, if I find somebody and I like them, I'm sticking with them. So the lady that threads my eyebrows and some of my facial hair, she's been doing that for 10 years now. So of course she sees how much hair I have on my face. At the time I wasn't really broken out, so she said, I can take the hair off your face. I won't wax, I'll thread, and it's no chemical, so you should be okay. Well, she did that, and a day later, and she told me put ice because the threading is gonna be a little abrasive, but put ice and XYZ. Oh my God. Like 2 days later, I was broken out into boils and these big lumps all over my face. And she felt horrible. It wasn't her fault. But when she finished, it was beautiful. Like my face was smooth. But 2 days later, boom, breakout. So anyway, moving on, I don't even know what I was talking about. But anyway, I was saying how my husband had mentioned it, and then I kind of was like, oh my God, I'm just so tired of everybody recommending something. I've tried everything and nothing really works. It only works for a certain time, and then my skin gets used to it, or my body gets used to it, blah blah blah. And he just left it alone. And here I am now again. Now at 39 years old, guys, 39. So you're talking about 23, 33, over 20 years. So I found this dermatologist. And I went to visit him, and he comes in, he looks at my face, and he's like, is this like an average day for you? I'm like, yeah. And I'm almost in tears because, to be honest, I'm just tired. I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm tired of it being so painful. Of course, every dermatologist and every esthetician will tell you, don't pop it because you're going to end up spreading the infection. And you're like, I know, don't pop it, but oh my gosh, it's so uncomfortable. Like something like that. I just want to pop that because it's painful. And I think I become like even addicted to the fact of I'm waking up and I'm going to find those bumps that have something in them, and I'm popping them. I don't care what they say, right? So I went in, and he looks at me, and he's like, is this like an average day for you? He's looking at my skin. I'm like, yeah. I said, I'm over it. I'm really over it. I don't want to like take pictures. I don't. He's like, so you're covering up with makeup? And I said, no. And he's looking at me so surprised. But honestly, even though I just don't like, even though that I know they're there, I I'm not a makeup wearer. I'm not someone that you're gonna see wearing makeup every time. So I've just been bearing with it, bearing with the spots. Oh, and then to mention, once you go popping them, breaks the skin, and now you cause scarring, right? And I have cleared up scarring over and over and over again, guys. And I've had estheticians look at my skin and say, oh, that's not gonna clear up. And I'm like, listen, your girl's been doing this for 20 years. Trust me. I know if I do some very, very aggressive therapy, microdermabrasions back to back, week after week, XYZ, this is gonna clear up. And I've done it, but again, it'll come back. So he looked at me. I'm like, no, I'm not wearing makeup. I'm just pretty much dealing with it, which that kind of shocked him. But I said, just don't like the feel of makeup. I really just want to have some nice, healthy looking skin. So he says, there's a cure, right? And I'm like, really? I wasn't thinking of the medication at that time. So he started discussing the medication with me. And, of course, him talking about it, it kind of brought up some memories and things of maybe it being mentioned to me before. At the first time, I know I didn't have any kids at that time. So I probably was like, no, because if you can't get pregnant, is it gonna cause you to not be able to get pregnant in the future? And even though they said no, you shouldn't have a problem once you stop it, I probably didn't believe it. So anyway, I was at the point where I'm like, listen, you're scaring me half to death with all of these crazy side effects, but I'm at the point now where I'm 39. I'm about to be 40 this year, and I want healthy skin. I want my skin to look good. And I know everybody has the answer, even those that don't have any degree, they're not estheticians, they don't do any cleansings or facials, but they'll come and say, do you know, my daughter used this kind of soap, and you could get it from here, and it's so sweet. But I'm like, listen, I'm just over it. So I finally said, okay, well, with these type of side effects, and for the timeline that I'll be on the medication, of course, I want to, talk to my husband about it. And it's definitely a decision that, I wanted to discuss, because another thing was that, hey, you may find yourself becoming, some emotional experiences, dryness, because it's causing the vitamin A toxicity, dryness in everything. I started watching YouTube videos similar to the light turned off in here, similar to the one that I am making now, and it helped me so much because ladies were on there talking about their experience and how, yeah, certain things happen and eyelashes came out and the hair being dry and all this, but it was so worth it because they definitely saw the effects of their skin being clear and them being able to have that, and seeing that once they stopped the medication they were able to do everything else and clear up, the whole dryness and everything. So that was really helpful to me, and that's why I'm making this video, because I also hope that if someone's out there that is considering this medication and scared because of everything they're seeing and hearing, that I possibly can help them or affect whatever experience it's gonna be. And I want to just be transparent and truthful as to how I feel based on the days that I'm gonna be on the medication. So yeah, so this is like day one. So just to let you guys know, I had to give them 2 negative pregnancy tests within a certain amount of time. So it's been a month that I've been anticipating waiting to be on this medication that's gonna clear up my skin, but maybe cause some other things to happen. And I amped myself up for it because I listened to the stuff that they were saying that may happen. And so I amped myself up on taking my supplements. I just basically did my best to put my body in a healthy state. With that meaning, I've been taking my supplements. I even gone to my hairdresser a couple times. I let her know about it so that she could kind of treat my hair and help it with its, the oil and moisture. So I can't tell you that any of that is going to work. I just know that based on everything that I have seen people say and do, I'm like, okay, let's try to combat this before I even get started. So for the past 30 days, I've been doing all these little things, taking my supplements, and just keeping my face clear, trying not to use too much abrasive stuff on my face, because I know they say once you get started, you don't want to do that. So even before I started this past month, I've just been using such gentle cleansers, and I stayed off of the benzoyl peroxide and all of that stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read all this material, and hopefully the next time, or not hopefully, but the next time I'll be able to give you guys some more information as to what the pharmacist says on this, and go from there, and then be able to tell you any of my first feelings or my first results to start in this, because I know that the 10 milligrams is the smallest dose that you can start on. And I didn't know. I just know they said, okay, you can go pick up your prescription, but I'm gonna be starting on 30 milligrams. So it's 30 milligrams. So that's not the lowest dose. So let's see how this goes. Thanks for watching, guys. Not prepared anything special here. I just really want to get past this phase and like just share my experience. And honestly, I would totally talk myself out of this, because I'm the type of person to say I always want to show my best face. Like I want to show my best. I want to do my best. So I would typically not even show this experience, because I just want to use it and have my face look nice or whatever it is. It's not even about face, but everything I do, I just want to show my best. So if I didn't come on and talk now, then I'd probably just hide this for the next 7 to 8 months. But I want to go through and just show you guys step by step everything that's happening, take pictures, and show you my results. So I'm excited. If anyone else is out there that's starting this journey with the Isotretenoin, I hope I pronounced that correctly. But if you're also starting this journey, or maybe you have been doing it for a few months and can give some tips, go ahead, please message me, share with me, because I'm looking for all the tips that I can get. And if you are considering trying and you just want to watch my journey to see how it works for me, and if I, once I complete it, that, what it does for me and how I feel, then hey, I hope that I can inspire you to to do what you've been thinking about doing for days or months or years, maybe. But yeah, if you're starting this journey with me, let me know so that I could have some, like, we could have a little support group going on and see how it goes. Because I definitely, from everything I've watched and everything the doctors told me, is not really a easy process. There's some things that you have to do every month before you can get your monthly supply of it. So I'm thankful. I hope you have a great support system. I'm thankful because I have, I told my mom about it. She's a great support system for me. And my husband's a great support system. He's just very excited for me to feel comfortable in my skin and whatever that means for me. He's just really, really, really excited to experience that with me. And he knows, like I said, the biggest decision was just knowing that, hey, we cannot get pregnant. This is not an option, because of the effects that it may have on the fetus, or that it will have. And just knowing that that's a supportive decision that we made mutually is great. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm excited. I'm gonna see, the pharmacist says it doesn't matter what time you take the pill, as long as it's about the same time every day. So I'll decide whether I'm gonna start tonight or in the morning, and I'm gonna keep up with you guys and let you know how it's going. All right, see you later.